Hello and welcome to the GL Wand for SAP demonstration. Once you've run the installer, you will find some new tabs available in Excel. To connect to SAP, you need to click on the Excel for Apps tab, and here you will find a Connect button. Clicking on the Connect button will open the Logon form. Here you can see the list of SAP systems is ready for you to choose from. This is automatically detected by GL Wand. You then use your normal SAP client number, username and password to log on to SAP. GL Wand also supports the use of single sign-on or a variable logon. As I have already been set up as a GL Wand user, I'm presented with a list of company codes that exist in this SAP system. This doesn't need to be configured, it's automatically detected by GL Wand. And here I can choose the company code or company codes that I wish to develop or run reports for. GL Wand then connects to SAP and detects your user authorizations and the financial configuration, so there is no implementation required. Once you have logged on to SAP, the toolbar buttons will be active. Clicking on the About form, here you'll be able to see information such as which products you have installed, which versions, and you'll be able to request a license key or to request support. A GL Wand administrator has access to things like the site options. Here they can install a new license key, select some upgrade options, or some other site-wide settings. As a GL Wand administrator, you will have access to Manage Users. This allows you to add users to be able to use the various products. When you click on the Manage Users button, it will show you a list of all your SAP users in that system you're connected to, and you can add them and select which products they can use and whether they are also to be an administrator or not. We can now click on the GL Wand tab and see that this toolbar is also active. We have two drop-down lists on the left-hand side, one for the company codes that we selected when we logged on, and the second drop-down list is the list of FICO objects that GL Wand currently supports. Let's discover some of these FICO objects. We do this by selecting the item we want to discover in the drop-down list and clicking the Discover Down button. And there you will see that we are discovering GL accounts down in the column A. This Discover functionality can be used for any of these FICO objects. We would then like to get a description for these GL accounts, so we click on the Get Object Description function, and here we see the company code has been selected for us, as well as the FICO object number, which represents a GL account. The value that we wish to get the description for is that GL account number. So we click on the Edit button, which takes us into the normal Excel function wizard or function editor, and here we can link that value to the GL account in cell A2. We then click OK, and our GL Wand formula returns the description for that GL account. And then with Excel functionality, we can just copy that function down for the rest of the GL accounts, and there are all our descriptions. Let's get a balance for these GL accounts. We're going to insert a classic GL balance here using the classic GL balance wizard. Here we see we can enter the various parameters for the Get Classic GL Balance function. Here we change the year to 2004. We can click on the GL account tab, and if we click on the select button, we'll be shown a list of GL accounts available for selection, and we can add this to our list of selections. If we select OK, it will insert the function using the parameters we selected in the wizard. However, we would like to link this formula to the values on our spreadsheet. So we use the Excel function wizard editor and we select the cells to link. In this case, we want to link the account number to our formula. We can then click OK, and once again copy down all the formulas. GL Wand will go and retrieve the balances for those GL accounts in real time from SAP. If you'd like to analyze any of the balances, simply double click on it to drill down to the line item detail. Here we see the list of line items which make up the balance. And once again, if you would like to drill down further, simply double click on that item and it will drill down to the document detail, all within Excel. The line item and document drill down layouts are now customizable. Clicking on the Layouts button, we can select the relevant layout that we wish to customize. Here we add the assignment field to our line item drill down layout and we change the order. You're also able to insert descriptions and subtotal the items. Once you rerun the drill down, your changes will be displayed, and you are also able to customize the document layouts as well. As another example of the get object description, you are now able to retrieve attributes. So in this case, we want to retrieve whether the GL account is a balance sheet account or not. Once again, we link the value to the GL account, and here the formula returns an X indicating that that GL account is a balance sheet account. Again, we just copy and paste the formula, and we can see that all these GL accounts we've selected are balance sheet accounts. You are also able to display the FICO objects by clicking on the Show button. You are able to select items to add to the list, put it in the clipboard, and then paste those values anywhere you like. Using the Create List of Values functionality, you can define a special cell, and it can be defined as any one of the FICO objects or any additional items as a list of values cell. Once you say OK, you will notice that you can select a list of items, and that cell is now identified with the letters LOV. And if you double click on that, it will show you the list of items that you created, and you are then able to change the values. Here we change the value of the cell to an income statement account. We can type in to filter the list to make our selection. The formula then recalculates because the GL account has changed, so does the description, and we can see that it is an income statement account. Let's take a look now at the Expand Hierarchy functionality. This relates to the groups, for example the Cost Center group, Profit Center group, as well as the new Projects functionality. Now that we've selected the Cost Center group in our drop-down list, let's click on the Show button. and this shows us a list of our cost center groups, and once again we can filter to find the cost center group we wish to work with. We then click on the Expand Hierarchy button, and that displays all the groups and cost centers below the cost center group that we've selected. The bold items are cost center groups and the non-bold items are cost centers. We can undo this, and now we can insert a description next to the cost center group. Once again, we go into edit mode and link the cost center group as the value, and our description for the cost center group is displayed. We are then able to expand the hierarchy, including the description. This then displays the cost center groups and the cost centers descriptions. Taking this a step further, we can add a get balance function. Here we add a get CCA or cost center accounting balance to get the balance for this cost center group. Here we select a range of cost elements to get the balances for our cost center group. Once again, we go into edit mode to link the cost center group to the cell on our Excel spreadsheet. We click OK, and that retrieves the balance for that cost center group. Again, we can now expand this hierarchy, including the description and the balance for all the cost center groups and cost centers below that group. Once again, we have the ability to double-click and drill down to the detail of any of the balances. Let's close the workbook that we've been playing with and open up a demo report. Here we have a pre-formatted revenue and margin analysis report. There are some hidden parameters that we don't need to display for reporting purposes, but they're used to create the functions or the calculations. It displays the period-to-date actuals, year-to-date actuals, and year-to-date budget values for the following account groups. Let's insert our get object description for the account groups. Once again, it's a simple process to create the function and then copy and paste them. We then insert the Get Classic GL balance and link it to the account groups to get our balances for the period to date, year to date, actual and budget values, linking to the parameters on the report. the formula has been created, it can be copied and pasted into the other columns to provide the information that we are looking for. We can then hide the parameters that we don't need for this report, and you'll see that the charts that are linked to the data have been updated. The report is ready to be used or distributed, and at the end of the following month the person can just change the period and the values will automatically update. You are able to refresh portions of the report as well by selecting Refresh Range. You can also refresh a whole sheet, a whole workbook, or all open workbooks. There is an Auto Calc option which we can turn off while you're developing the report. That will prevent GL Wand going and refreshing the balances from SAP, which is useful while you are developing the report. When you make a change, GL Wand pen shown, showing that the results are still to be retrieved, and at any stage you can then go and manually retrieve those values. If you would like to send this report to a user who's not licensed to use GL Wand, as there are GL Wand functions in the workbook, they would not be able to read this report. So we have the snapshot functionality, and what that does is it copies all the formulas and replaces it with the actual values. You are then able to send this report to any user you wish. We also have a product called the RDM, or the Reports Distribution Manager. This allows you to automatically generate the reports and distribute them to the users that you want to. The first thing you would do is create a template, and then we would like to add the rows for our distributions. If we click on Define Row, we can then select a demo report or a report that we wish to distribute. In this case, we're using the demo report we've been working with. It will then display the named ranges that were set up in that report. So in this example, the company code, the period, and the year. You are able to send the items via email, or you can just store them in a distribution folder. You can send it in PDF format. The Excel format has two options, being the snapshot as well as with the GL Wand formulas. Here we're going to add two rows, one for company code 1000 and one for company code 2000. We then see the parameters have been added to our rows in our reports distribution template, so that we can see the company code, period, and years available. Those items or values have been set up as lists of values automatically, so you can just double click on the cell to select the relevant value you wish to use for that distribution. On the right hand side we can see our report names. We are then able to execute this template or distribution. Once we start that, it will open up each of the reports and populate the parameters automatically. So in this case, it's populated company code 1000. It will save it in the distribution folder and then populate the report again with the next parameter, in this case company code 2000. And once that process is completed, it will put it in the distribution folder, or it will email it automatically to the users that you have chosen. Thank you for watching the GL Wand for SAP demonstration. For more information, please go to www.excelforapps.com.